Who killed Akua Donkor? Politicians or natural death? The tragic news of Akua Donkor's sudden death has sent ripples of shock and grief throughout Ghana. On the morning of Tuesday, October 29, 2024, Ghanaians woke up to the somber realization that the founder and flag-bearer of the Ghana Freedom Party had passed away at the age of 83. Social media platforms flooded with reactions and speculations as Ghanaians and supporters of her legacy reflected on her contributions to the political landscape. A political figure who fiercely advocated for the rights of the ordinary Ghanaian, Akua Donkor was known for her bold statements, tenacity, and dedication to representing the underprivileged. However, as the nation mourns her passing, many are left wondering, was her death purely natural, or could there be something more sinister at play? Official reports confirm that Akua Donkor was diagnosed with respiratory issues at the Nsawam Hospital, where she received initial medical attention. Later, she was referred to the Greater Accra Regional Hospital's Intensive Care Unit, ICU, at Ridge, where she ultimately passed away around 10 p.m. on October 28, 2024. Senior journalist Ernest Frimpong Manso, who confirmed her death in an interview on TV3's New Day, spoke of her condition with solemnity, yet his words did not quell the growing suspicions among Ghanaians. Many speculate that her death was not a mere medical incident, but could be linked to the heated political atmosphere surrounding the upcoming elections. This suspicion is partly fueled by the events leading up to Akua Donkor's passing, especially regarding the highly symbolic placement of political parties on the ballot. In Ghanaian politics, ballot positions hold significant symbolic and strategic weight, with parties viewing these positions as both a tactical advantage and, in some cases, a spiritual symbol. Akua Donkor's Ghana Freedom Party, GFP, was assigned the third position, with the ruling New Patriotic Party, NPP, in the first position and the opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, securing the eighth position. The NDC, in particular, seemed exceptionally pleased with their placement, as the number 8 held considerable significance in their political narrative. In Ghana, political campaigns are not solely a display of policy proposals or candidate appeal. There is a deep, often concealed spiritual element that many believe influences outcomes. Spiritual practices and rituals are woven into the fabric of African politics, with some politicians reportedly turning to spiritualists, traditional priests, or even engaging in rituals to secure victory. In a system where winning an election can drastically change one's socio-economic position and influence, the lengths to which politicians might go to secure a favorable outcome often blur the lines between reality and spiritual conjecture. Chairman Wontumi, a prominent figure within the NPP, stirred controversy when he remarked that he could alter the ballot position of the NDC from 8th to 7th.
What say? Chairman Wontumi, I can't Wontumi TV. As you say, more power say, or make me a numbers no assist. That's a person here, make it so. They say, I'm telling you, so Bakuna. Me what 10. Now say me what 10. Now say me 1 million a year. And I'm telling you, me say, so who should be pakra with Dima or Jima Chinya? But the NDC for crowd that say 8 now say yeah. Memo me free 1 by 7 and now say 6. I'm telling you to show the strength and the power. Yeah, namni yeah campaign yeah what to one now so yeah. Pharisees. I'm telling you. I know. Now, as a person who loves Jesus, I am interested in both physical and spiritual, but I'm also interested in the family story and affairs.
To some, this comment may seem like an overconfident political boast, but within the context of Ghanaian politics, it takes on a darker implication. His statement came shortly after the ballot positions were assigned, sparking discussions about the lengths that political parties may go to adjust outcomes that could otherwise appear as fixed. Furthermore, his intense demeanor while making the statement only amplified the perception that his words carried an underlying threat or spiritual intent. In a country where spiritual influence is believed to be a hidden but potent force in politics, it would be naive to dismiss his statement as mere political bluster. For the NDC, the number 8 has special significance, especially with the NPP's slogan "Breaking the 8", which signifies their desire to surpass the traditional two-term limit that often sees the ruling party ousted after 2 terms. For some voters, especially those with limited literacy, associating the NPP with the number 8 could reinforce the belief that the NPP is already positioned within the 8 and should not continue to rule. For the NDC, this alignment with the number 8 presented a psychological advantage and a strategic opportunity to gain favor with voters. Akua Donkor's sudden death just days after this ballot arrangement has thus raised questions about whether her death was strategically orchestrated to disrupt the ballot setup and disadvantage the NDC's position. Before delving further into the conspiracy theories surrounding her death, it is essential to recognize Akua Donkor's legacy. She was a bold and unconventional political figure who believed in representing the marginalized and stood against elitism in Ghanaian politics. Her Ghana Freedom Party was never a dominant force in the elections, but her voice resonated with those who felt sidelined by the mainstream political elite. Her appeal was not built on wealth or high-level political maneuvering, but on her grassroots connection to everyday Ghanaians. Her presence on the ballot symbolized the diversity of Ghana's democratic landscape, offering a voice to those outside the traditional power structures. As Ghanaians speculate, the timing of Akua Donkor's death is unsettling. Just as political campaigns were ramping up and ballot positions were being intensely debated, her unexpected passing altered the dynamics in ways that seem almost calculated. Some question whether her death could serve as a means to influence the election outcome. By removing a prominent yet unconventional figure from the race, it is possible that voters' attention and choices could be swayed in directions favorable to the major parties, particularly the NPP or NDC. Could there be individuals or groups who felt that her presence in the political race could interfere with their agendas? And if so, could these forces have resorted to spiritual or metaphysical methods to ensure her removal? Given the prevalence of spiritual beliefs in Ghanaian politics, many Ghanaians are inclined to believe that there may be more than meets the eye. Chairman Wantumi's claim about changing the NDC's position from 8 to 7 could be dismissed as bravado, but within days, Akua Donkor's death has indeed left her position on the ballot uncertain. Wantumi's comment might have seemed like an exaggeration initially, yet her passing only intensified suspicions about whether his words were an omen or an actualized intent. In Ghanaian culture, where certain individuals are believed to wield influence over spiritual forces, Wantumi's remark has left people wondering if he could have knowledge of forces beyond the tangible. Furthermore, the intense competition between the NPP and NDC has made this election cycle particularly charged. The NPP, seeking to break the 8 and extend its rule beyond 2 terms, faces fierce opposition from the NDC, who view the 8th position as a symbolic alignment with their campaign. In such a polarized environment, any alteration to the status quo, even something as seemingly trivial as a ballot position, has the potential to swing voter sentiment. Thus, Wantumi's comment and Akua Donkor's subsequent passing could be perceived as interconnected pieces of a much larger political and spiritual puzzle. Ghana's political history is replete with stories of supernatural interventions, spiritual attacks, and ritual practices aimed at influencing political outcomes. Some Ghanaians believe that powerful individuals often consult spiritual mediums, not only to secure victories, but also to neutralize opponents. In Akua Donkor's case, Her sudden death has led many to speculate that perhaps she fell victim to forces beyond her control. If her death was spiritually motivated, it raises ethical and moral concerns about the lengths to which political figures might go to achieve power in Ghana. While accusations of spiritual interference are difficult to prove, they nonetheless contribute to the broader narrative that Ghanaian politics is influenced by unseen forces and hidden agendas. In Ghana, rituals and spirituality play a significant role in various aspects of life, including politics. During elections, reports often surface about politicians seeking the help of traditional priests or spiritualists to gain an edge. These practices are deeply rooted in the belief that spiritual forces can sway outcomes, protect allies, or eliminate threats. Some even believe that individuals can harness these forces to cause illness, misfortune, or even death among their rivals. The belief in the power of rituals and supernatural intervention is not unique to Ghana, yet it is particularly potent in the realm of politics. As Akua Donkor's death is dissected by analysts and spiritual observers alike, it becomes clear that many Ghanaians view her passing through the lens of ritualistic influence. In a country where elections are fiercely contested and stakes are high, it is not unusual for rumors of spiritual practices to surface, especially when a high-profile figure dies unexpectedly during a heated political season. The untimely death of Akua Donkor has left Ghanaians with more questions than answers. Was her death simply the unfortunate result of a respiratory condition, or was it a spiritually orchestrated event aimed at shifting political dynamics in favor of one party over another? While no definitive evidence points to foul play, the timing of her passing and Chairman Wantumi's ominous comments leave room for interpretation. As the Ghanaian political landscape remains charged and unpredictable, many will continue to speculate about whether unseen forces are at play. As you reflect on these questions, consider the intricate relationship between politics and spirituality in Ghana. Do you believe that Akua Donkor's death was solely a natural event, or do you think there could be hidden motivations behind her passing? Share your thoughts and stay tuned to Ghana AI News.
Finance minister no wabon do. Wabon say. Wabon say.